Hey, welcome. This is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com and datingfire.com. Today on these dating tips for women that you know and love so well, we're going to talk about something pretty cool. First of all, would you like to look inside a guy's mind? I know it's kind of messy in there. It's a little dirty. He's probably left his socks and his underwear all over the floor, but would you like to know what's going on inside that head of his? Well, today that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give you some of the secrets that men don't want you to know. Stick around. And of course, always do the big three. Number one, make sure you like and subscribe. This is awesome content that you can get every single week. Keep coming back for more. You're going to love it. Number two, make sure you turn on the notifications, that little bell button thing next to the subscribe button. And number three, if you have any questions, you want to suggest a video, leave that in the comments section below. Look, I don't like a whole lot of build-up, so let's just jump right into the secrets, okay? Secret number one about guys that he doesn't want you to know about is that he secretly worries that you're too good for him. It's true. Initially, the starting stages of a relationship, unless you've started chasing him, that is to say, and I hope you aren't chasing him. You're not, are you? You better not. And if you are, well, we'll get to that too. Well, at the start of a relationship, he's going to worry that you might be a little bit out of his league. Now, the funny part is you're probably wondering the same thing, right? Both sides feel this way, and that's what gives a charge around the early part of a relationship. And this is also part of why men work so hard at the start of a relationship and why you do too. Neither one of you has a real feel for how available the other person is or how hard they are to win over. It's this challenge that draws you in at the start of a relationship and makes it so much more interesting and compelling. And that's what really gives you that activation energy too. This is where the electric charge of infatuation gets to work its magic. When the chemistry is high and you're both worried about losing this new special magic thing, well, you're going to want to put a lot more energy in. Let's just say that. Secret number two is that he's a little worried about your ex. He wouldn't tell you this. No, of course not. That's why I'm here to tell you about that. The most recent ex, or the guy that is maybe a little too close to you for his liking, that's the guy he's most worried about. And this actually goes for all of your friends, really. He's going to see them as being a little bit of a threat. The same way you see most of the women that hang around him as a threat to you, right? We all know that sexuality overrides almost all of our rational thinking. Even if they are just friends, you still know that there's a potential there. There's a potential for something to happen. And it's good to show a guy that you're desirable by the opposite sex, by the way. You shouldn't run away from your male friends just because you don't want to make him jealous. That's dumb too. A lot of women actually try to hide their male friends and their previous relationships. This is a huge mistake. It's usually this is the inspiration that a guy needs. He needs to see you interacting with other guys in order for him to feel that call to show up, to be there, to be a better man, and to aggressively work to win you. That's the key factor here. I see so many relationships where the woman she's basically not giving him a reason to chase her, and then she wonders why the relationships don't work out. Duh. Remember, the one way that we know that something is valuable is by how much other people want it. And you're making him a little bit jealous, or at least showing him that you're desirable by the opposite sex, is often the inspiration that he needs to know that you are valuable. Don't short circuit this. Don't bypass it. Secret number three, he still thinks about his relationship regrets. A lot. Yeah, we guys really do dwell on our past losses and screw-ups that we made, especially with women that we were really into, but they might have ghosted us or ditched us or rejected us. Look, I've still got a couple of women that I can still recall if I choose to and look back at it. I don't really do that anymore now that I'm married and I have a good relationship, but if I wanted to, I could definitely come up with a few examples of this. And I have let them go, but they still get stuck in your fur like a wet lollipop. And it's tough to get rid of. But this doesn't mean he's going to leave you for an ex, okay? If he still looks back on these past mistakes, that doesn't mean he's going to go back and revisit it. Don't worry about that part, okay? Secret number four, yes, he might have stalked you on social media a little bit. Just a little bit. Look, it's there, and there's a treasure trove of information, so why not? Why wouldn't he? Now, in fact, most guys are probably going to want to know everything that he possibly can without having to ask you about everything, right? It's just like a research source for him. Do you remember that Sex and the City episode where Carrie lets out her crazy, right? Where she gets crazy and she's in Mr. Big's apartment and she starts snooping and looking through all this stuff, and then it creates a whole big blowout. If you haven't seen the episode, it's a good one, but at the same time, if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Of course, we're going to gladly do anything to find out what's going on with a person, and unfortunately it can go in an unhealthy direction. So always be clear about the information that you're putting online and make sure it's actually presenting the real you, because social media is a real thing, and unfortunately it's not always doing relationships anything good. Don't manipulate. Don't get caught up in comparison and FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out, but do be sure you're curating your online presence. Secret number 5, he gets a little worried when you don't text him back. Just a little bit, yeah. If you're still in the early stages and you haven't started chasing him yet, we talked about this earlier, didn't we? Yes, we did. If you're still in that early stages, he's going to wonder what it is you're up to day to day. And this is a valuable tool for the woman that understands how to make herself available and unavailable. You need to be doing both. Make yourself available for him and unavailable at certain times. Now, you don't want to be too easy to reach or too easy to get hold of, right? And that's important because scarcity works. Being a little scarce is effective, not in a manipulative way. We don't manipulate scarcity, but think about how you feel when you see something that you want you want in a store and there's only one left. What do you feel? Oh, I gotta get it. You grab it. You run over and grab it quick because you don't want to lose or miss out on it, right? Well, think about that. And think about when you know supplies are limited, right? That little phrase they use in advertising. It's psychology. It's basic psychology. And it's also what we call evolutionary psychology. It's part of our being at a very low level. So scarcity is real for most people. There's nothing wrong with being a little scarce, because if you're too available, you're sending the opposite message and you're going to probably scare them away. Secret number 6, he wants you to take the lead in your relationship. Men rely on you for this. We're not as savvy as to how to move a relationship forward. Well, most guys aren't. We only know how to ask you out to do stuff. And he especially wants you to take the lead in bed, by the way. You need to be the one to ask for it, so to speak. You need to be the one to express desire first from time to time. Now, I know many women want the man to express his desire first, right? Because you get caught up in wanting him to prove and show to you that he really is into you. This is especially important for women, more so than men. Okay? And you get caught up in the stalemate, right? Where you want him to show interest and he wants you to show interest, and neither one of you is willing to take that first step. It's a stalemate. Don't get caught there either, okay? Secret number 7 that he's probably not going to tell you is he might find some of your hot friends, well, hot. Yeah, again, this doesn't mean he's going to leave you for them. He's simply going to respond like anybody would who's looking at a space in their heart that they want to fill. You're going to notice his friends that are hot or hotter than him, right? Of course you would. Don't lie to me. I know you would. Come on. It's just that appearances are less important to women than they are to men for that initial sexual attraction. So if you have an physically attractive friend, well, yeah, he's not going to be able to help himself. He's going to be like, wow. Women tend to be attracted more to attitude and the behaviors that communicate a man's status, his dominant social status, what they call alpha status, or the alpha male, right? That's just the way it is. Women are attracted to that. Men are more attracted to the initial appearance. Next secret, number 8, he's a little worried about satisfying you in bed. Yeah, guys don't understand the female body very well. You probably experienced this once or twice yourself, right? And it's unlikely that he's ever read a book about it. Just imagine how embarrassed he'd be at the checkout of a bookstore. Look, most guys watch porn, and they may not sense that that's not realistic, but they still don't know how to get the good information about what is realistic. So he doesn't get any education about this. He doesn't know that just bumping groins together is not going to be enough for you to get there. You have to take the lead in educating him. So start out with conversations outside of the bedroom. Don't do this stuff in the bedroom. Start with the conversations when you're just, in an intimate setting. Maybe you're cuddling or talking or whatever. Start with protocol about your helping him, how you can help him get better, because he wants to please you, but at the same time, you don't want to insult him by telling him he doesn't know what he's doing. Look, the number one concern for a guy in a relationship is what? Do you know what it is? It's to please you, believe it or not. Secret number 9, your relationship makes him nervous in a good way. He's worried that he's going to fall in love with you and that you'll have control over him because he knows how far he can go before he has no clue about what he's doing. This is, again, that problem of guys not knowing how to handle relationships. Men and control in relationships. Guess what the relationship is there? He has none. He doesn't have any control when it comes to relationships, so he's afraid of letting go. Yes, this is where a lot of men's fear comes from. Not from showing the emotions or feeling the emotions. It's that he's going to lose control. Look, I've told you this before, more men are susceptible to depression and the consequences of that feeling of being out of control, especially in relationships. Men are also good at hiding this. We can put up that false front. Men are essentially very insecure in relationships because we really only know what motivates us, right? It's the sex. That's what gets us into it, but we don't know what to do after that. The other mechanics are usually not in his awareness. So that's, again, where a woman needs to take the lead. She needs to be the one that is steering this relationship. Secret number 10 is he's not happy with the time that you're spending on your phone. Now, this one is actually pretty important in this day and age. It sounds like it's a, what, Carlos? My phone, what has that got to do with anything? Well, look, guys everywhere are more likely to dive into their own phones after a while as a response to you being on yours. Scrolling, checking Facebook, doing all that stuff. Come on, check out the people in a restaurant the next time you go there. See how many people are immersed in their screens. It's really pathetic. Nobody's talking anymore. And you can kind of imagine them texting across the table to each other, can't you? I mean, how long do you spend on social media? How much time do you spend on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, all this stuff? YouTube? Well, of course you're watching me right now, and that's fine because this is awesome stuff, but endless video watching, that's going to eat up hours of your day and your time. And yes, it is a little addicting because you're getting a little dopamine hit every time you find something new that's like, ooh, I want to watch that. Keep in mind that the increase in reliance on your cell phone could be creating distance with him. Next secret is he will only think about straying if his needs aren't getting met, just like you. He'll only look if he's not getting his essential needs met within the relationship. Next secret is he gets over stuff quicker than you, and you probably hate him for it, except for that one devastating relationship that every guy has where she trashed his heart. Men have a very short-term memory when it comes to grievances in a relationship. He's not going to hold a grudge against you unless you've really done something bad. You've gotten to a really bad place in the relationship too. Every so often, every few evenings, just talk about things in your relationship. Don't stockpile your grievances. He wants to be able to talk to you about them. Next secret is that he needs time alone without you. Men recover their masculinity in isolation. Women recover their femininity in connection. Pretty cool, huh? That's the essential difference when it comes to men and women. And you heard it here first. Next secret is he shows you he loves you, but he'd rather not have to say it. If you're pushing words out of him, you're probably going in the wrong direction. Women need to look more at the actions a man is taking. That's how men show their love. He's not going to say I love you all the time, although he might, but it's never going to be good enough for you unless you're really looking at his actions and interpreting them correctly. The next and last secret for today is number 15. The reason he won't commit to you is because commitment is a super huge commitment to himself. Bigger than it is to you. The commitment he makes to you is only a part of it, okay? Again, guys don't make a commitment without really being sure, and that's why he's so hesitant. It's not because he can't make the commitment, it's because he knows he's really taking a big step off the cliff here. It's huge for a guy. He doesn't have the skills to back off the way you do, so once he jumps, he's in it. He's basically jumping in like a cannonball in the pool. Now, a lot of these tips that I gave you and secrets that I gave you assume that you've got the upper hand in the relationship. Now, what is the upper hand? Well, that's where the man is the one that's a little more worried about losing you than you're worried about losing him. You know what I mean here, and you know you'd rather be in that place too, wouldn't you? It's not because you're trying to exercise control, it's because you know that that's a better place to be. I mean, well, first of all, let me know if you'd like a part 2 to this video. I think you probably would, wouldn't you? Just leave that in the comment section below, and please share this video with your friends, because at this day and age, I am getting batted around by Google and all the other search engines. I want women to find this information. The only way they're going to find it is if you help spread the word. So share this video with one of your friends. But back to what I was saying, if you're more worried about losing him than he's worried about losing you, you don't have control. You don't have the ability to take this relationship where it needs to go. There are secrets of getting a commitment out of a man, and it's not as hard as it might seem. I can show those to you. You want to know how to do it? Commitment is easy when you know how. Go on over to datingfire.com/Cupid. That's datingfire.com/Cupid. And I will show you the secrets of the Cupid effect and how it works in men to get him to make a commitment to you. All you got to do is know the secrets for how to open his heart to you. Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo. Before you run away, look, I know you want to run to the next video, and that's awesome, but make sure you do the big 3. Make sure you like and subscribe. Great stuff here. You'll come back for more. Number 2, turn on the subscription notification bell thingy. And of course, number 3, leave me a comment in the section below in the comment section if you have a particular topic you want me to cover, or if you have a question, or maybe you don't agree with these secrets, or you don't think they're true. Tell me down below. Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo from datingfire.com/Cupid. As always, live and love with passion.